Good morning, Marianas. Good morning, friends. I'm Troy Torres.
And I'm Danielle Baza.
It is Friday at 6:57 a.m., 6:58 a.m., Friday on the 2nd of September, 2022. We're very late for the news today because of breaking news that we have to bring you from the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. We'll also bring you the latest political news here from Guam, the latest regarding the FBLG situation, and much, much more when we come back from this commercial break. Stick with us.
Bottom line is we're gonna make you a better person. You're gonna be healthier and fitter than you were before.
Welcome back. Breaking news out of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. Sources close to law enforcement tell Kandit News that at around 11 p.m. last night, the DPS armory in Tinian was burglarized, and now 30 guns, including automatic weapons and numerous ammunition, were stolen. DPS Officer Bradley Lazama said DPS has no comment at this time, but was able to confirm there is an ongoing investigation into the Tinian armory. This is a developing story. Stay tuned to Kandit. Meanwhile, on Guam, the administration's task force cracking down on the illegal entry of Chinese nationals has made a plethora of arrests over the past couple of days as law enforcement officials make significant inroads in their investigations. Apprehended since Wednesday were Fu Li, Ji Kong Huang, and Gun Chin Shi. We thank Guam Police Department spokeswoman Officer Berlin Savella for her transparency and proactive efforts in providing the media with these updates.
It is day 4 of our inquiry into the Guam Department of Education about unsafe conditions at FBLG Middle School, and no one there is talking. Kandit has repeatedly followed up with DOE spokeswoman Michelle Franquez, but to no avail about the serious issues facing FBLG students, faculty, and staff. Students of the Jigo School have sent pictures and video to Kandit of what appear to be unsanitary and dangerous conditions at the old and rundown school. Puddles of a dirt-colored fluid can be seen in one classroom, and according to students, more fluid rises to the surface as they step on the tiles. In another photo of the same classroom, closet doors are rotting. In another classroom, buckets litter the floor to catch multiple ceiling leaks. Multiple fiberglass ceiling tiles are either missing or soaked with light fixtures nearby. A video of another classroom shows water raining from the ceiling into a bucket. Other photos in other classrooms show a large rat in a trap, another rat in a classroom, and a dead rat in a crevice that, according to students, smelled so strong of decay and rat feces they had to be evacuated. Among Kandit's questions are whether repairs are being planned or if the school simply is beyond repair. We will follow up again today, and we also have reached out to Board Chairman Mark Mendiola as of this morning.
Last night, a rallying Republican Party of Guam gathered for their annual Lincoln Dinner, a celebration of Republican unity. And Republicans had even more to celebrate, the presence of Democrats celebrating with them. Among them, one Democrat who represents half of the team that brings thousands of votes to the table. Republican senatorial candidate Mana Silva Tyron, in her speech before the jam-packed crowd, revealed who the special guest was.
Where's my brother Ray? He calls us Balikbayans. Bring it back. But you know, I look out in the crowd and I want to say it's important that we bring it back because I see some of the great people that I've worked with in the legislature, Salodini, where's Frank Bloss, right? Chris Duenas. You know, we did such great things, and Senator Tony Atta, we did great things in the legislature. We created jobs, we created industries, and we just made Guam good. And then when I was fortunate enough to work under Eddie Calvo, Governor Eddie Calvo, in his administration, we brought new industries to Guam. I was with Jay Rojas over at the Guam Economic Development Authority. We did such great things there. And so we want to continue that growth for Guam and continue to do things for Guam and our people and bring new things here for our opportunities. Vote Republican. I know all of us are yawning and want to go to sleep. It's past my bedtime too. But vote Republican. Vote Tony Atta and Felix Camacho into the administration. And you know, I want to acknowledge my former colleague, Sabrina Salas Matanani. It's so wonderful to see you. Viva Guam!
Sabrina Salas Matsinani reportedly was the darling of the ball as the Republican gubernatorial team of Felix Camacho and Tony Atta work for her and former running mate Michael St. Nicholas's support going into the general election.
Finally, Governor Lulian Guerrero has not called her Democratic primary election challenger to ask for his support, and instead, Republican former Governor Felix Camacho has already met with him. Her campaign manager, Rory Respicio, said it is tradition for the losing primary election challenger to make the first phone call and concede, and that the governor simply is honoring Congressman Michael St. Nicholas's public statements, asking for time to reflect on the outcome of the election. Mr. St. Nicholas has not endorsed the governor since the primary election, but was photographed 2 nights ago dining at Tamuning restaurant Taka with the Republican candidates for governor and lieutenant governor. The Republicans have been highly complimentary of Mr. St. Nicholas, Ms. Matanani, and their campaign. On Monday, in an exclusive interview with Kandit, both Camacho and Atta talked solemnly about their push to unify the St. Nicholas Salas Matanani movement with the Camacho Atta campaign. Mr. St. Nicholas's brother, Rick St. Nicholas, who is married to Mr. Camacho's youngest daughter, Maria, has been seen in numerous Camacho Atta campaign pictures with supporters of his brother, donning Camacho Atta shirts and hats since Sunday. And it isn't just the thousands of St. Nicholas Salas Matanani supporters the Camacho Atta team is appealing to. Another picture posted by the Camacho Atta campaign shows the team embracing Teddy Nelson, the father of Senator Celina Nelson, who lost her bid for Mr. St. Nicholas's seat in the U.S. House of Representatives to former Speaker Judy Wampat. Juan Carlos Benitez, the chairman of the Republican Party of Guam, on Wednesday, during an in-studio interview with Kandit, said people want change. The Republicans offer that change, and it is critical Republicans embrace both San Nicolas and Nelson supporters, who all voted for change. Today at 1 p.m., Troy Torres will be at Lou and Josh headquarters in Agania to interview the chairman of the Democratic Party of Guam, Tony Babauta.
When we come back, we'll bring you the news stories and agenda for today, which includes the inside scoop on the federal grand jury in Saipan. When we come back, stick with us after this commercial break. Welcome back. I apologize for how late we are in the newscast this morning. We had to run down this morning breaking news coming out of Tinian about the DPS armory that was robbed. The investigation is ongoing according to Officer Bradley Lizama, and so we thank Officer Lizama for the time that he spent with us this morning and for at least confirming that an investigation is happening. Before we get to our news agenda for today, which includes the grand jury over in Saipan and a story that we're working on regarding Guam Memorial Hospital, tomorrow I become a godfather of a beautiful young woman who is going to grow in Christ, Layli, with my soon-to-be pari, Leighton Borja. The christening is at 9 a.m. at Santa Lourdes Church over in Jigo. I came across on Facebook this morning. No one asked me to post this. I just saw it, and I thought this is something that we should promote. There is a little boy battling brain cancer. His name is Thomas Borja. And tomorrow at the, I think it's at Security Title, there is a car wash that's going to happen. So rain or shine, if you need your car washed or you don't, please take a moment to go over there and make your donations to help this little boy fight cancer. Here's a message from the little boy and his mother. Oh, in just a second.
Hi everyone, my name is Ramona Borja. This is my son Thomas John Borja. I would like to thank REMAX, Realtors in Guam, and everyone else who have helped and donated. Also to everyone who had kept their thoughts and prayers for Thomas and my family. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thomas would like to say something to everyone.
Thank you, everyone, and love you all.
We love you guys.
Well, God bless that little boy, Thomas
cute.
Borja, so brave, right?
He's
Are you-
so smiley.
Are you gonna cry?
I almost did.
And well, God bless him, and God bless all of you for considering to help out. The fundraiser again is tomorrow, September 3, over at Security Title in Winning. It's a car wash. Now, it could be raining tomorrow. I mean, does it matter? I mean, the car wash is sort of like the icing on the cake, right? But even if you don't need your car washed, even if it's raining, if you can donate anything, please donate to that cause. Also, we're asking if you can help donate to one of our family members. Over the past few days, we've been asking you for prayers for Eric Rosario, explaining that there is a situation that someone in his family is going through. We're now prepared to tell you what that is and to ask for your assistance as well. Eric Rosario, our chief of production, his niece, Araya May, who you see on the left side of that video, she's 12 years old, and over the past couple of months, she's been going through a very tough medical situation that doctors don't understand. She started fainting, she started collapsing at school, and then they took her to the doctor. The doctors thought that there was nothing wrong. She didn't have any heart condition, and then she started having seizures. And then they took her back to the doctor. She was admitted into GRMC, then transferred over to GMH. Then the seizures got worse. Doctors still don't know what the underlying health condition is and have referred her for off-island specialty care. And so while her family is getting together all the documents needed thankfully, Medicaid is able to provide assistance medically. What the family needs help with is actually getting her and her mother off island for that care, and of course the expenses that go along with having to find a hotel. I think they might be going to the Philippines, which, as I understand it, the medical city accepts, or Medicaid will pay for care over at the medical city. So that's a good thing. I don't think they've settled on that as well. They also have to get passports, the whole 9 yards. The family's really going through something. And so they've established a GoFundMe page under Araya's name. You can search Araya May 671. That's ARIAH MAE 671, and I believe there's an exclamation point after it. And so, this is to help, if you can, donate to this GoFundMe campaign for Araya's medical and off-island expenses, and we appreciate that. God bless you all for considering helping our Eric Rosario and his niece and his family to go through this tough time. Now, we have some significant stories to bring you today. All my life in working, Friday has always been the busiest day. I don't know why. I think it's God's good humor. When's your busiest day? Well, your busiest day is always going to be my busiest day. So Friday. So this is what's happening.
Friday.
We got reliable source information that Secretary of Finance David Atalig Jr. Was testified before a federal grand jury in the CNMI in Saipan. And so we're going to try to get a hold of Mr. Atalig. We understand that he just came back from a conference in Japan with Governor Ralph Torres. But this is significant, this federal grand jury. What is the federal grand jury about? What was what did he have to testify about? And for Mr. Atalig, it might be good news, because if you're testifying before the federal grand jury,
You're off the hook.
you might be off the hook, But if you're scheduled to testify, if you're subpoenaed to testify before the grand jury, and then the federal prosecutor says, you know what? We're not going to use your testimony right now. You might have something to worry about. So Mr. Atalig, at least for this, might be in the clear. We'll try to find out more from him. And then last night, let me just back this up. 10 days ago, Kandit did a FOIA to Guam Memorial Hospital because we were hearing source reports that a company was contracted to collect debts over at Guam Memorial Hospital, which is not a bad thing. But then we got source reports that part of the debts that this company is being paid a portion of the revenue collections on is the garnishment of tax refunds for medical bills over at GMH, which is not something that this revenue collection company is even responsible for. And so there was a partial FOIA response yesterday from Guam Memorial Hospital to the several requests for document production that we had, and we'll bring you the first of those reports today.
Johnny.
You can get these in-depth stories at kanditnews.com. Now we ask, I'm sorry. We are at 1 p.m. today. We'll be going live from Lou and Josh headquarters, where I'll be interviewing Democratic Party of Guam Chairman Tony Babauta, and hopefully Ginger Cruz, Chief Strategist for the Lou and Josh campaign, will be able to join in this interview. Now we ask that you join us in turning your attention to 93.3 FM The Point, The Ray Gibson Show, the only show of any significance or consequence in Guam from Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., except on holidays. You can find them. We're going to go on their Facebook Live at The Point Guam. You can also go to their YouTube Live on The Ray Gibson Show. For Kandit News, I'm Troy Torres.
And I'm Danielle Baza.
Have a great morning. Good morning, Marianas.
The Jones Act is a 1920 law justified on national security grounds as a means to bolster the U.S. maritime industry. It restricts domestic shipping to vessels that are U.S. built, U.S. owned, U.S. flagged, and U.S. crewed. However, this law boosts cost by banning foreigners from competing and forcing Americans to purchase ships that are up to 8 times more expensive than those built in other countries. The result is higher transportation costs. Shipping oil from Texas to the Northeast, for example, costs 3 times more than importing oil from Africa. Ultimately, consumers foot the bill. In addition, higher shipping costs push freight from ships onto other sources of transportation, such as trucks, which means more traffic and pollution. Meanwhile, this blatant protectionism has failed to benefit builders of ships in the U.S., whose production is less than 1% of those in China and South Korea. Domestic builders have seen over 300 shipyards close since the early 1980s. Jones Act defenders claim the law ensures adequate U.S. ships during times of war, but during U.S. deployments during Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm, foreign flagged commercial ships carried twice as much equipment as their U.S. counterparts. In fact, the U.S. was so desperate for shipping that it twice requested the use of a cargo ship from Moscow. Both requests were denied. So the Jones Act has failed to achieve its shipbuilding and national security goals while driving up costs for consumers. It's time for this outdated, costly, and ineffective law to be repealed. It's time to end the Jones Act.